stand watch over Middle-earth.
It really feels like a reunion. I mean, everybody that was in The Lord of the Rings that we needed for The Hobbit returned.
Welcome to Rivendell. It's been great to be back here. Great to meet up with lots of people that were all working on Lord of the Rings. Ah, the ring. Elrond is one of the 3 elven rings.
That's very bright. Look at you, you look fantastic.
And the other poses. This could be you.
It's going to be so grim. Oh, look at that. Hello. We have a I'm serious, you have not aged a single day.
I think I look younger, actually.
You do, actually.
So too.
You're not the only guardian to stand watch over. I remember it now, but later on. I didn't have a script until I got here, but that's part of the nature of working with Pete anyway.
New lines here.
So I kind of knew that that's what would be the situation.
Well, did you have another meeting outside?
No, this is the meeting we had this morning. I've just learned those lines.
This is the result of the...
Quick, let's film it now. These runes were written on a midsummer's eve by the light of a crescent moon nearly 200 years ago.
I remember that day's filming, particularly as I was with Hugo Weaving, one of the most congenial members of the original cast, and to meet up again with him was lovely. Oh, yes. And we always laughed together, Hugo and I.
I was kind of in awe of him initially, but he's an incredibly fun person to be with just on a day-to-day basis.
Our background is very similar, working in the classical theatre.
These runes were written on a midsummer's eve.
Suddenly we have a prominence in the film industry which amuses us. Because I think we both basically think that where we belong is with our feet firmly planted on a stage somewhere.
I mean, it's always interesting when Ian and I are off set doing all the characters. I don't know that I can explain it. It was very bizarre. So all the scale doubles, large and small, were required for a wide shot, which meant that none of the actors in the scene were actually there. So it was kind of a slightly weird sitting in a couple of chairs reading this radio play while watching these smaller and larger people acting it out.
We still have time. For what? Well, to find this entrance, we'll have to be standing in exactly the right spot of exactly the right time.
We're alert to the ridiculousness of it all.
What do you mean?
Not the only guardian to stand watch over Middle-earth.
But I think can behave when necessary.
Well, I've made a few, we got rid of these.
We'll come down the stairs and do a wonderful bit of Elvish reading for us. And you'll reply and...
I was completely thrilled to be asked to come back on the film for any part.
He had played a very beautiful elf in Lord of the Rings, so beautiful that he'd drawn attention away from more important characters on the screen.
My lady!
And got his nickname, an acronym from Frodo is Great, F-I-G. Who is that? Referring to Brett. Fig Wit. And Peter asked him back, and he very gamely came along with a name now, Lindia, and a line or two.
My Lord Elrond, the dwarves, they've gone.
Resetting?
I'm going back to my unit now.
It's like, you're always sort of, in a way, the elves are always prepared to welcome Gandalf, and that's no big deal, but when he brings these little bastards in, it's just like,
Mithrandir.
Indeed.
Working with Ian McKellen was a total career highlight. I was sort of nervous and, intimidated. He's incredible to watch on screen and then to get to watch him up close.
Where is he?
He's a very good actor.
Indeed.
I mean, I can handle one sentence quite well, like Mithrandir, Lastana Mithrana Divruinen. Got it. Got that one down, right? But this one about the dwarves using all the wine up, I don't even go. It was a complete mind flip.
The creative team decided over lunch that they wanted him to do an Elvish scene. that afternoon.
Brett, you've got some Elvish. He said she was joking. I said, no, and it's 3 lines, and it's going to be shot in 1 shot, so we can't cut in and out of it. And he went a bit pale.
We're going to shoot straight up. First up.
First up, one take, get it perfect.
So stressful. Yeah, because being on set is a very stressful atmosphere, even when you're speaking English.
Well, now, if you could start your line read before you appear.
Fran and Philippa write the lines in English. Then those lines are sent to David Salo.
The Elvish specialist, and then he translates the English into Elvish, and then Rasheen then shows me the words. And then I can't say them. And so I was walking around the set trying to remember this nonsense.
It always sounds good on the rehearsal, never when the camera rolls. First rule of filmmaking.
China, Barana Beda Fargline, Never Penny Nirubu. Mananinge. Never penny something. Never penny Mirubor. Sorry, Mananingad. Mananing.
Hey, minga minga, minga minga, minga minga. What?
Minga, minga, minga.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, well,
I got my others, right?
yes.
He and Hugo had a fantastic rapport as well, and so they kind of helped each other through a particular level of panic that I don't think everybody thrives on.
Mananinge. Namani Dartafar.
And I just got it right. Barely.
Very good. Let's get Brina shot and stop. Perfectly again to the camera now.
What did you say?
Thailand, Barana Beda Fargline, Never Penny Mirubor.
We're getting rid of
Mananin something or other.
You're forgetting it already. You see, it's slipping away. Slipping away. So we're shooting in Rivendell, and this is the courtyard, the arrival of the company.
Arriving in Rivendell was pretty difficult because we had all our bags and sacks. We had the full kit. Most of us could barely stand up.
It's pretty tough. You can see them suffering in between each take.
Here we go again.
Ah, yes.
Come down to a nice, complete scene.
No, Master Cloyne is off.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I would need a napkin. Is this the napkin?
Yes, it is the napkin.
This is going to have the proper size one. This is clearly the small scale.
We'll tell you about the large napkin.
Right, rolling resets this time, guys.
The way that we try and get through this as quickly as possible is to keep the cameras rolling and just do take after take after take.
There's only one thing for it.
Resetting.
And as soon as we were done with the take, I'd say, okay, reset, let's go again. We put them rolling resets. Because as soon as I said cut, you literally have 30, 40 people swooping in around the dwarves. There's someone to look after their hair, their makeup, their costumes.
Every time you say cut, it's like 20 minutes gone. Every time. They run in, something falls off, sweating, cooling them down, 20 minutes gone.
I mean, it was that sort of thing. You need the kind of the patience of an ox. Shall we shoot?
Okay, everybody up to 70. Just going to get that.
Okay, let's do some rolling resets.
We're able to do that because we're not shooting film. When we're shooting film, obviously, it's very expensive.
Digital cameras, you put a little card in, you can shoot for like 15 minutes, and then you can just download that footage, and then you reuse the card. So the whole thing's a bit cheaper. So I kind of realised that the best thing I could do to speed along the day was not to yell cut. that's the way I love working, and I think a lot of actors love working like that, because you stay in the moment and there's an energy and you build on the energy. One take builds on the next, builds on the next. But it was also a great way to kind of keep the dwarf contingent at bay, so I could get through 4 or 5 takes in reasonably quick time. More Elvish stuff with Elrond, Gandalf, and Galadriel.
It's an amazing thing to be able to return to something that was begun 12 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, she looks like it will never exist again.
welcome.
An elf kiss.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like returning to summer camp.
Yeah, very well.
Very nice to see you.
And action.
Lady Galadriel.
Show me.
I suppose it's just the thing about whether it raises the stakes for this thing to suddenly be produced in terms of the outward meeting.
Kate Blanchett has played some of the great classic roles in theatre, and you can't do that unless you're alert to all the possibilities for your character and discuss them openly with your colleagues, and that's how we go about preparing.
Maybe it's what stops me is the psychic speech of
Yes.
you're carrying something.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that's what I'm trying. There's something going on with them, and I'm trying
Yes.
to work out what it is.
And that sort of preparation is not usual in films. In films, the actors are cast because of their known qualities, and they turn up on set, and they're expected to deliver on the first day of shooting, with very little preparation. But in this case, we did all sit round.
You know, I'm perfectly fine to actually just sit down with the cast and send everyone away for a cup of tea for half an hour, give us the set quietly to ourselves, and just work the scene up and change it. And we either have, you know, Philippa or Fran there. Hello, darling. Hello. I'm just here with Kate and Ian.
Yep.
And quite a few other people, but never mind. We were just talking about this scene.
To be on a set with one of the greatest living actors, Sir Ian McKellen, and one of the greatest living directors, that's a gift, anyway. But then to have such a key scene in a way that it sets up Mithrandir, the journey that Gandalf is going on. Why the halfling? It's a very, very beautiful speech.
I didn't know.
In Ian's hands, there's not a trace of sentiment. There's just a well of feeling.
Why the halfling? I do not know, but I'll think about it. I found it is the small things. Where's he going with this? The everyday deeds of ordinary folk that can keep darkness at bay. What he's coming round to is he doesn't know. I don't know how to put it in the words, but Bilbo Baggins somehow gives me courage to carry on.
Oh, no.
You're trying to understand it yourself inside of it.
That's right.
The sentence. That you're figuring it out as you go, not understanding it or knowing it before
That's it. That's
you
it.
say the word.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And he makes the great confession, which it needed Galadriel to bring out of him, and thinking about these things to say, I am afraid. That's the wonderful, which is wonderful.
I mean, we've been reading each other's minds in the previous scene. Part of the function of the scene is to say, something's troubling you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to draw it out of you. You're trying to get to this moment, you know, of naming the fact that you're frightened. Okay.
But I'll also tell you what's at the heart of this. What's at the heart of the speech is this ties into the speech in Mines of Moria in the second film when you say it was the pity of Bilbo that stayed his hand.
My heart tells me that Gollum has some part to play, for good or ill, before this is over. The pity of Bilbo may rule the fate of men.
So there's something at play here that you don't even understand.
That's right.
And it's something to do with the essence of a hobbit, that somehow you can have armies, you can have might, you can have force, you can do everything in a sensible kind of rational way, but there's something that you haven't discovered yet, that you haven't been able to rationalise. It's telling you the end of the story has something to do with this little guy, and you yourself don't know that journey yet.
Elves have problems with what we think of as human emotion, don't they? They don't cry or laugh. So do you understand what he's talking about?
Well, I think there's something. I say in the next film, even the smallest person can change the course of the future. I don't know. Maybe I've strangely learnt from you.
Yeah.
I think elves would laugh at a good fart joke, wouldn't they? I mean, everybody
But
does.
they only happen once every 1,000 years.
That's right. Yeah, they're dying.
Who wouldn't want to sit round with Cape Blanchett and talk about almost anything in the world?
Elfware.
If Kim Kardashian can bring out some platform sneakers, I think Galadriel should have
I like the way. Well, yes, I think that's very good.
I think the platforms were about. Oh yeah, they're about that.
Have you got your disco boot? Yeah, you've got the disco.
Oh, the ankle breakers.
Oh, look, she can move them. Oh, wow.
Disco platforms, because of course elves are very tall. I was always relieved when we got to sit down and put the Ugg boots on. But somehow you couldn't perform Galadriel in Ugg boots. I think I always needed the height.
Don't stop now. Tell us what the woodsmen say.
Christopher Lee was not sitting round the table with the rest of us. His contribution to the scene was filmed in London.
Yeah. Yes, the wardrobe was always a little bit tricky, wasn't it? I seem to remember you tripped up on it a couple of
You were
times.
very cold about it.
I wasn't cold about it.
I said, I can't get up these bloody steps.
I remember, yes. You said goddamn steps.
I'm sorry, I cannot get up these goddamn steps smoothly. I can't do it, Peter. I'm sorry, because every time I try, I step on the thing.
You can't get up these
And
goddamn
you
steps.
said you did it this morning.
And then you said the great line, this wardrobe is a menace.
Yes, you did.
These clothes are a menace.
So for me, that was the signature line of the entire series.
This necromancer was nothing more than a mortal man. I couldn't do the trip to New Zealand. I shot those scenes here with ordinary people standing there giving me the lines and the eye line. So you do have to use your imagination quite a bit. You've been busy of late, my friend. The scene had already been shot in New Zealand with a double.
And by the magic of film, it all comes together and it looks as if we're in the same place.
You've been busy of late, my friend.
You just watch the eyebrows on during that.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 10 years. Eyebrow acting. Yeah, I have a habit of doing this, you know. A lot of people do. But you always just say to me, there you go again. All that eyebrow acting.
Oh, yeah, well, you know.
I was always doing that.
He's not very good.
Let's give us a little bit. Let's give us a little bit.
Well, don't stop now. Tell us what the woodsmen say.
Graham and I went to Pinewood. We weren't filming there, but we went to London. Christopher is such a character. It was such an honour to meet him and listen to his stories.
The most extraordinary thing that happened to me in the war was there was a time when I was in charge of an Australian squadron. And, you know, the Aussies were, in those days, not very easy to control.
Well, they're still not. We've got a bunch of them on the crew.
No,
Caro Cunningham, our first AD, and